Hello there, I'm Tessellating Hexagons, and if you're watching this video, that means you're probably about to watch, or have attempted to watch, HunieCam Studio Versus, featuring my lovely self and the lovely, even lovelier, Europe Scalo 8. Now, I'm not going to lie, HunieCam Studio is kind of a surprisingly deep and complex game. Well, maybe that's doing it a bit more service than perhaps it deserves, considering that it's a deliberate, well, perversion in every sense of the business management sim genre as a whole. But I do admit, it is rather difficult to follow what's going on if you don't fully understand, so here's a brief rundown of how the game works. You'll notice in the top corner, we have two main numbers that we're tracking, money and fans. The end goal of the game is to get as many fans as possible in the space of 21 days, and money kind of facilitates that. So, down the right-hand side, we'll end up employing girls. We'll start with just the one, and eventually level up in such a way that we can have up to 8, and we can send them to these various labelled buildings around town to do various tasks that increases our fan count, or our money count, or things that would help facilitate doing that. So we'll start with these two buildings over here. The one on the right is the photo studio. If we send a girl there, then she will attract more fans, but we won't get any money for it. And the building on the left is the cam studio. If we send a girl there, she'll make money, but not fans. However, the amount of money she receives from there is dependent on how many fans she already has. We also have the fashion boutique on the far left, and the strip club in the middle right. Sending a girl to either of these will cause her to level up. Sending her to the fashion boutique increases her style, and the higher a girl's style level, the more fans she'll bring in when she goes to the photo studio. And sending her to the strip club will increase her talent level, and the higher her talent level, the more money she'll bring in at the cam studio. However, these will cause the girl's overall level to increase, and the higher a girl's level is, the more money she'll demand when it comes to paying her. Girls are paid automatically every day at 12 AM. You'll notice the clock in the top left corner. Every time that rolls around to 12 AM, all the girls are automatically paid. But we can choose to pay them at any time if we want to keep tighter tabs on how much money we have. And if we do end up going into debt, then that's okay, but if you spend an entire day in debt, then it's instant game over. Now the building on the upper right is a sleazy motel. We can send a girl there, and she'll get all the money that she would get for doing a cam show, but it only takes her 1 hour. The catch is, she may catch an STD. That was an accidental pun, and I make no apologies for it. And STDs have various effects. I'm not gonna profess to be an expert on them, because in my playthroughs I've tried to avoid taking any risks wherever possible with that, so all I know is the worst one is AIDS, which prevents a girl from doing anything at all, and I don't think it's curable in this game. I don't know for certain. The building in the south middle of the town is the sex shop, and sending a girl there will cause her to retrieve, well, she'll bring up a list of 5 or 6 items, I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head, and you can choose one, just one, per visit, and you can have an item and give that item to a girl, and they have all kinds of crazy effects, which can actually be surprisingly broken if you know exactly how to use them. The building above that is a talent agency. Send a girl there, and she'll pick out a list of 3 potential recruits, so 3 new girls, and you pick one of those, and you can add her to your team, if you so desire. And you'll see stats about them like how many fans they'd bring to the table if you were to employ them, what their talent and style levels are, and what their vices are, which brings me on to, well, vices. You'll notice in the middle of the top part of the screen, 25 drinks and 25 cigarettes. Yeah, some girls smoke and some girls drink, and that means that those counters will steadily tick down as long as you have, well, a girl who smokes and or drinks in your party. It's advisable to send a girl, preferably one who doesn't make as much money, to either the liquor store or the corner shop, respectively, to fill up on alcohol or drinks. Because that's a factor that I've not spoken of just yet, stress. I wouldn't know from personal experience, but I'd imagine that this particular line of work, which I'm not going to name out loud so we can pretend to be innocent about it, is highly stressful. And so, whenever you send a girl to do any task in any of these buildings, she'll become stressed. It's calculated in a percentage, it's like the symbol for it is a little lightning bolt. And if a girl ever reaches 100% stress, she cannot do anything. So each girl must routinely be sent to the day spa, which is the building in the bottom right with the leaf on it. And the more stressed they are going in, the longer they'll be in there, but they'll always come out at 0% stress. And girls who smoke or drink they tend to get stressed out more slowly, but if they run out of whichever item satisfies their vice, or both if they consume both, because some do, that means they're going to get very stressed out very quickly, even if they're not doing anything. It's something like 10% stress every couple of seconds if they don't have alcohol or cigarettes or whatever they need. So, I believe that's every game mechanic. Now, just looking briefly across the bottom of the screen, the only tabs that really affect the gameplay, the books tab is how we pay the girls if we want to pay them manually rather than waiting for the date to tick over, so we can keep track of how much money we owe them. The promo tab is essentially a means of converting leftover money into fans, and the investment tab is exchanging money for upgrades, which may make the game easier. Well, not easier, but more efficient. I recognise this may not have been the best explanation necessarily, but trust me, unless someone explains all this to you in words beforehand, it would be so easy to just watch the game and tune out and have no idea what's going on. So, hopefully a combination of this explanation and the episode should help you understand a bit better, but I don't know, I recognise this probably wasn't the best explanation. I tried. Anyway, thanks for watching and enjoy the verses!